Hey, it's Sunday. Happy Sunday, everyone. Tom Warcroft here. Sorry about the previous video where we had no audio. So I'm hoping that someone is going to be watching and can confirm that this time the audio actually works. It's always fun to be playing around with different things and trying to see, usually this works no problem whatsoever, but and I'm using the same stuff I used yesterday and the day before, but I guess it looked like there was one setting off. So anyway, thanks so much for tuning in for a second time. Like I said, hopefully with volume this time. Today I really wanted to talk about this concept of, is your glass half empty or is your glass half full? And I've heard this my whole life. It's one of these things where, it's kind of like, oh, don't be so pessimistic, look for the silver lining, and really look to, change your mind. Say, hey, the situation might not really be the way I want it to be, but, it's really not as bad as it could be type of thing. So I'm going to go from saying, hey, it's half, empty to it being half full. And, I think shifting your mindset from from this scarcity to things are okay and abundance is a good strategy. However, I don't think going from, hey, I've got this much to I've got exactly that much and beating yourself up for like my mind's not in the right place, I don't have as much, you know, you know, it, you should appreciate what you have. You should be very thankful for it. But that does not mean you should not also have a goal that you're reaching for. And so for me, the thing that I really want to do is not say, hey, I'm not maybe not aiming for this half full life, but what I'm looking for is a full cup. I want to live full cup life. I want to be to the point where I'm always brimming over. I want my heart to be open and sharing my passion. I want to have energy. In the previous video where there was no sound, I was talking about even this morning. It was like, you wake up, and I was a little groggy. I kind of woke up in the middle of my sleep cycle, and the question really is like, okay, so I'm a little out of it. What gets me going and out of bed like this in the morning rather than sitting there and going snooze, snooze, or, other things like that. Hey, Tyler, what's happening? I'm assuming that means because you're commenting you can actually hear me, which is really good because the last one didn't go that way. But yeah, the thing is, when I look at that is what's going to actually get you out of bed, what's going to drive you through the day to really make, that difference that you're here to make. And, going, hey, today's just good enough probably is not it, right? And so I'm not saying that we don't want to look for the silver lining of our circumstances today, but I'm also saying that we want to focus on where we really, really, really want to be. What is our passion? What do we love to do? Like, ask yourself, write it down. What would you really love to do with your life? And then make that your ideal and then start taking actions towards that place as if you've already made it. So what is your full cup? And then what does full cup life look like to you? That's the place that you want to be coming from. Because for me, I have a training that I've been doing today, and that invigorates me because I'm learning more how to get in front of people and share my passion to help them. And I want to be the best I can be at that. And are there going to be some stumbling blocks? Are there going to be some times where I feel like the glass is only half full? Well, yeah, obviously. But the thing that I really want to do is to focus on where I want to be, and then every moment just take one more step in that direction as if I've already accomplished it, as if I'm already that person. And whether that's the parent you want to be, the lover, the spouse you want to be, the child or the parent that you want to be, or it's the goal that you want to achieve, the success you want to be in business or some other aspect of your life. You have to start acting like you're there already, and that will help bring you there. That's how you get in alignment with the universe. And so, again, I think we should look at a positive attitude, but it's not just words, right? It is literally like, what do you know? Like for me, I have goals. I write down those goals. I look at them over and over. I fine tune them day after day. And then when it's right, I'm saying like, this is a done deal. This has already happened. And then I start to do my very best to live from the place that happened. And if I start to go half full or half empty, I just change that and I go back to, hey, that stuff's all right. That's happening in my day. But like, if I want to be somebody who earns $250,000 a year, what would that person do right now? With the actions and the circumstances in my life, what action would they take? If I want to be someone who's a calm, confident, and inspiring parent, what is that, and then my kid comes in yelling and screaming and freaking out or doing whatever they do that makes us not calm, confident, and inspiring. Okay, so, but think to yourself, when I have achieved calm, confident, inspiring parenthood, what would that person act like and act from that place? If I have chronic Lyme disease and I want to change it, right? What does my life look like when I'm a healthy person who has recovered? Okay, a person who has, achieved complete optimal health, right? And I hesitated a second there because one of the things that we want to say is when I've beaten Lyme, when I've beaten cancer, when I don't have this, and the thing that comes to my mind is like the Mother Teresa quote. It's like when people invited her, to an anti-war rally. She's like, no, that's not what I'm about. When you want to have a pro-peace rally, invite me there. We want to focus on the thing we want, not on the thing that we don't want. Because the way our brain works is it doesn't process knots. It's not like we see a big red circle with a line through it, right? Through these pictures and a knot. I think about dog training. It's like if you want your dog to be lying on the floor, you tell them to lie down on the floor, and you picture them in your mind lying down on the floor. You don't say don't get on the couch, because the first thing they're going to do is your energy in your mind is going to say the dog is going to see the dog on the couch. The dog is going to pick up on your energy and going to hop up on the couch. Right? If you don't want your kids to do something, think about what you want them to do. If you want to do something different than you're doing today, don't say I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to drink tonight. I'm not going to not exercise. I'm not going to sit my ass on the couch. You need to visualize yourself doing the thing you want to do. And the beauty of this is that's what it means to live a full cup life, right? These half empty and half full episodes are going to happen, but it's what you choose to do with them in your mind. What are you focused on? And we're all part of the human condition. I remember one of my teachers, Mary Morrissey, was talking and said, I was going through this with our business plan and how I was going to serve hundreds of thousands of more people. But then all these thoughts just came in, this common hour thinking came in. And I needed just to take a moment and talk with my team and my family to get me out of it. Here, this is one of the greatest teachers we have in mindset in the history of the world, probably. So inspiring to me and so many other people. And what she said is, having these thoughts come through our minds is normal. It's part of being a human. The question is, when you have the common hour thinking, when you have the normal experience of being a person, when these thoughts come in, what are you focused on? I was just in this training and somebody's talking about, well, I was really motivated yesterday, but then I went and watched the news. Well, you know what? The thing that we watch habitually, the way we think habitually, is the thing that is going to drive us in this direction, right? So you wanted to know, everybody wants to know why Michael Jordan is worth $1.6 billion and makes something like $23,000 an hour. Well, maybe not everybody, but you should probably think about it. The guy, literally, do you know why he was the best basketball player in the history of the world? Because he was relentless. He decided what he wanted, and no matter what, no matter how many apparent obstacles were in his way, it was a done deal in his brain. So everything he did was continually refocus himself on that. Did he have a bad day? Did he have a bad performance? Did he have a shitty attitude at some point? Absolutely. But he went back to what his goal was, what his dream was. And so that's how we live this full cup life. So anyway, I can go on and on about this. I'm just so inspired by, there's so many different stories out there of different people, from really big, well-known names to people who we've barely heard of. They take simple action every day in the direction of their goals, in the direction of their dreams. And what we're really seeing here is that it's this concept of, pessimism and optimism, or my glass is half empty, or my glass is half full. Those are normal things to come into the human mind. The question is, what are you going to do when you're presented with them? What I'm challenging you to do is find out the one thing that you can do today, the one thought. Think about it. What is the one thought that you've had more than any other thought today? Write that thought down on a piece of paper. Take a few deep breaths and look at that piece of paper and say, is that really what I want to be thinking about? And then you go from there and you figure out, really today is a day of tech things. It's like my screen just went to sleep for some reason. I love it. Here's the exercise. Figure out the thought that's been going through your mind the most today. Write it down on a piece of paper. A few deep breaths, and then ask yourself, is this what I want to be focused on today? Is this really serving my dream? Is it serving me, my life, my family, my loved ones in getting closer to my dream or me helping them achieve their dream? And if it's not, then all you need to do is put a big X through it. You can even rip it off and burn it ceremoniously. And then write down a thought that's the positive opposite of that thought that will get you moving in that direction. If you were thinking like the person who already achieved your goal, what would you respond to if you were talking to the person who just wrote that statement down? Come up with a thought that is the positive, inspiring, loving, calm parent thought. Come up with a thought that is that person who has recovered their health and they're living an optimal life. They're both emotionally, spiritually, mentally, and physically feeling amazing. The person who doesn't have to struggle to make $35,000 or $50,000 or even hold a job, but the person who makes $500,000 a year. Imagine what that person would say to the other person. What is the affirmation they would write down? Write that affirmation down. Tweak it a little, wordsmith it until it really moves your heart, until your hair is standing up because it's so emotionally charged. And then what I want you to do is write it down 10 times. And then after you write it down 10 times, say it to yourself over and over and over throughout the day. At the end of the day, write it down another 10 times. If you find that you're feeling so inspired that you need to even make it more crystal clear, do that. But every day for the next 7 days, write down this thing 10 times in the morning, 10 times in the evening. Say it to yourself over and over throughout the day. Carry your paper and look at it. Put it on a card, put it in your pocket. Whatever it is to get you to say it over and over and over. Write it down as if you have already achieved your goal, and it will. The results that you're going to see over the next 7 days are amazing. The changes that are going to occur tomorrow and the next day are going to be things like you never expected, from something as simple as getting clear on what you want and writing down this positive affirmation, but living from the place that it's already happened. Live from this place of a full cup life, and I'm happy to support you in this. It's made such a massive difference in my life. I love to share those stories, but really this is about you living your best life, and I'm hoping to inspire you a little bit to take that next step in action. So anyone who's interested in diving a bit deeper, I've created a Facebook group. It's free for everyone. I just want it to be a place where we can really focus on this together and uplift each other. It's called Full Cup Life. I'm going to throw it down in the comments section, and I'm really excited to have an opportunity to share my passion with you, and I look forward to seeing you in the group. Please comment below. Let me know what you're working on. If you need any help in fine-tuning that affirmation or diving deeper, join the group. Again, it's free. It's there to support you, and I'll look forward to seeing you on the inside. Have an amazing Sunday, everyone. Thanks so much.